Well, hello everyone. Welcome to PlayFrame and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode and welcome to this mecha anime we've stumbled into. Man, this game has everything. Okay, let's not waste time. Plenty to do. I'm here to... Actually, hang on. You wrote reports up. Are they worth reading, I wonder? This pile of papers appears to be a collection of reports written by members of the Resistance. I'd love to read some of these things. Name: Gaius Baelsar, pure-blooded Garlean and former legatus of the 14th Legion. During his time in the Empire, he was credited with the conquest of 5 cities. Extremely dangerous, though currently aligned against Garlemald. Assumed dead following the Battle of Castrum Meridianum, he survived and made the elimination of Ascians his primary objective, operating under the name Shadowhunter. The Ultima weapon project he once helmed has since been taken over by the 7th Legion, prompting him to cooperate with the Eorzean Alliance in preventing new weapons from being developed and deployed. He has provided invaluable information on the Ruby weapon, though it has recently come to light that the pilot was an orphan once under his care. There is a possibility that he may betray us and return to the Empire, so he must be monitored closely. I see. Ruby weapon. Name: the Ruby weapon. War machina developed by the 7th Imperial Legion as a successor to the Ultima weapon. Our sources indicate that, like the original, it is able to absorb the ether of primals, which may be the cause of the vastly different appearance and combat capabilities. It possesses extremely dense armor and flexible claw-like weapons. Shortly after its deployment in the Gimlet Dark, a team led by the Warrior of Light intercepted it and rendered it inoperable. Garland Ironworks are currently investigating the wreckage. And Melisandria. Name: Melisandria, pilot of the Ruby weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Baelsar and must therefore be considered as potentially unreliable. Her parents were killed when their homeland in the imperial territory of Werlet was struck by an epidemic. She was later taken into the care of Gaius with several other orphans. She was despondent and introverted at first, but through the guidance of Alphonse, the eldest of the orphans, she grew to become more assertive and self-assured. Little is known of how she came to pilot the Ruby weapon. According to Gaius, her emotional attachment to Alphonse may have been what compelled her to participate in this dangerous mission. The report delivered by Cid Garland following the preliminary examination of the Ruby weapon's remains states that Melisandria's body was fused with its core, with no vital signs detected. Estimated age at time of death, 20 years old. I sense, in addition to mecha fights, we are in for bummers on this one. Information relating to the weapon project has been uncovered, and your allies prepare to depart for distant lands. Derman, I'm afraid we haven't much in the way of information to share from the front line. We have, however, received word that Gaius wishes to speak with you at Alliance headquarters. I've arranged an escort to take you to headquarters, so when you're ready to depart, speak with the fellow over there. Okie dokie. Turns out I'm super ready to depart right now. Take me to the place. Ready to head out? You bet I am. Severa, hello, I'm back. Where is everybody? Good, you're here. The Ironworks have completed their analysis of the Ruby weapon, and Cid Garland wishes to share his findings. I take it you can spare a few moments? I have nothing else to do. Very good. Please wait here while I inform him of your arrival. Okay. Glad you could make it, Derman. I'm sure you're as anxious as anyone to hear what we've uncovered. Our early hypotheses were proven correct. The Garleans have designed a system whereby a pilot's consciousness can be forcibly supplanted with data based on the memories and experience of another. So even a rank amateur could obtain the combat capabilities of a seasoned warrior? Precisely. And we learned how this was made possible when we opened the cockpit. The monitors were still operational, and among the messages displayed, one particular phrase caught my attention. Synthetic Aurosite System. Which is what, exactly? Well, the core of the Ultima weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabik by the Ascians. We believed it to have been a type of Aurosite. I can't say much for the synthetic sort at this stage, but I've encountered real auracite before. It was extremely potent, perhaps equal in power to the heart of Sabik. It's unclear whether the Garlean's simulacrum possesses the same properties as genuine auracite, but I intend to follow this avenue of inquiry to see where it leads. What we do know is that it was used to implant the combat data of Nail von Darnus into the pilot, who's been presumed dead since before the calamity. Are you any closer to discovering how they were able to retrieve this data? The link didn't occur to Gaius at first, but he later told me of devices fitted to the Magitech armor of the Empire's high-ranking officers. There's reason to believe they were designed to emulate the soul crystals used throughout Eorzea. Yes, that was rumored to be its true purpose, but it was never publicly acknowledged. Perhaps those in the upper echelons of command wanted to avoid comparisons to the so-called savages they were meant to be conquering. There's also the question of whether this system even functions as intended. From what we've seen, we can assume they were successful in gathering combat data of those wearing armor equipped with the device. If the comparison with soul crystals is valid, perhaps this data was transferred via ether. However, it seems that it extracted not only memories relating to combat, but the soldier's very essence. As you saw, the pilot succumbed entirely to the will of von Darnus. Though this is merely supposition, it's possible that being fused with the ruby weapon's core accelerated the process and caused the deceased legatus to manifest in corporeal form. Could it be that the death of the pilot was caused by the system malfunctioning? It's hard to say. The ruby weapon itself was still largely intact when it deactivated, which strongly implies that it was the synthetic auracite running amok that killed her, rather than the damage incurred during the battle. But even after our analysis, I'm afraid we still don't have enough information. For now, perhaps we should consult with Gaius as to our next plan of action. Works for me. Gaius will know how best to proceed. I still need to get to the bottom of how the synthetic auracite system works, and whether the pilot's fusion with the core was a malfunction or planned from the start. You keep working on that. I'll come chat with these two. I've just returned from my reconnaissance, and I shall reveal my findings before taking a long overdue rest. Okay, lay it on me. Valdolin has come bearing vital information. I traced the ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Werlet, which appears to be where it was built. Where exactly is Werlet? And my grasp of geography is surprisingly poor, especially considering how much, world hopping and traveling I do. Care to enlighten me? While Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Gimlet, Werlet lies on the opposite side, to the east. It was once a proud and prosperous city until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders. You seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me. I thought that much was common knowledge. It's also where Alphonse and the others were born. And now, the weapon project has brought them home. Yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They've established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Turncliffe. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago. This bodes ill indeed. Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Turncliffe presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood, their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we're able to secure a vessel. Or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all, as the crow flies. In fact, this is the perfect chance to put my top-secret plan into action. And might I ask what that entails? Wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? What I can say is that there's a starring role planned for you, Derman. Isn't there always? Why so surprised? You think I'd let you get off that easily, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere. He's having a good time. Many Imperials who fought at Gimlet withdrew to Werlet, though they will have had ample time to recuperate by now. Were we to approach by land, we could expect considerable resistance. I must admit, I'm not fond of surprises, or secrets for that matter. Well, Sid's having entirely too much fun. I think we're going to have to roll with it. I see Sid still delights in keeping others in suspense. I can only hope he does not make us wait over long. Same here. Looks like we've got a fight of some sort, as part of the surprise. Hooray. Gracious, Sid. Someone's been having a good time. Here it is, Derman. I present Garland Ironworks' adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the G-Warrior. I know elegant design when I see it. Excavated from one of their ruins, no doubt. Azisla, to be precise. We came across it during the course of our investigations and decided it would be a shame to let it go to waste. And you will be taking this refitted relic to face the enemy head-on, yes? Perhaps my knowledge of the Ultima weapon will be of use. I'm counting on it, as it happens. But first, we'll need to perform a test run in the simulator before throwing you into battle. Come, we haven't much time. You got it, you giant nerd. That's right. Armored Core, baby, let's go! Let's begin the G-Warrior training simulation. I've prepared 3 trials to teach you the basics. First, I want you to try attacking the guidance system. Don't worry, it won't fight back. The G-Warrior is armed with a range of weaponry. Now's your chance to learn what it's capable of. Okay, destroy the target. Let's have a look at our various little moves. Ether Cannon, sort of as a basic attack. Final Flourish combo. It looks like we got a little 3-hit combo thing here. Ultima Buster deals unaspected damage with a potency of a lot to all enemies in a straight line before you. Neat. Ether Mine deals unaspected damage to target and all enemies nearby and also does a damage over time. That seems important. We got a heal. We've got a Pyretic Booster. Reduces cast time and recast time of weapon skills and increases move speed. HP is drained while in use. Ooh. Or Ethereal Aegis reduces damage taken. EP is drained while in use. Okay, neat. Just different little modes. Okay, well, let's start with the mines. Try out this little combo. There we go. Big beam. Kaboom. And basic fallback attack as well, I suppose. Got a heal. Pretty good. Alright, not bad. Seems like this combo is kind of like the best thing to default to. Damage output-wise. Nice. So far, so good. Let's move on to something a bit more advanced, shall we? The G-Warrior also comes equipped with a Pyretic Booster, which diverts even more power to its weapons and increases its speed and maneuverability. This, however, comes at a price. Activating it places a huge strain on the G-Warrior, so it must only be used in short bursts. That's why it's best to practice here before heading into battle. Now try activating the Pyretic Booster. Okie dokie. Boom!
You'll notice that your movement speed's much improved, but as shown on your monitor, the G-Warrior becomes more and more structurally unstable as time passes. To deactivate the pyretic booster, press the same button again.
There we are. Ah, we have a target to destroy.
Auto restoration can mitigate a certain amount of damage incurred, but don't rely on it to carry you through the battle. Now to try using the pyretic booster to destroy the target.
Is it this one, or is it a different one? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Boost!
This time the node will launch wide-reaching attacks in quick succession, but with your increased movement speed, you should have no trouble evading them.
Okay. Attack! Yeah, faster attacks is nice. E. Move. All right. Easy peasy. Eek. Just keep on attacking from range. There we go. Nope. Stop being in this mode.
Excellent work, Durbin. You best deactivate the pyretic booster while I explain the final trial.
Okay.
We've covered offense, now to look at defense. This is where the ethereal aegis should come in handy. Unfortunately, you can't keep the barrier up indefinitely, as it'll drain the G-Warrior's power reserves. Might run out of energy for your weapon, so watch out. First, let's try deploying the ethereal aegis.
Okie dokie. There it is.
The monitor shows how much power is being drained. Don't let it get too low. That's enough for now. Turn off the barrier using the same button used to deploy it. For the last trial, we'll use the ethereal aegis while attempting to destroy the target.
Okie dokie.
Unlike before, there's no way to escape its attacks, so you'll need to weather them using the barrier.
Okay. Guess I shouldn't probably leave it up all the time. Okay, attack incoming. Defenses are up. Let's take the defenses down, not waste our power. Bring it back up. Okay. We're doing fine. I win. Here we are. This game is silly sometimes. You're a natural. All right, that's everything. Time to end the simulation. I wonder where in this thing Dermot is. I feel like this has now raised like a really important question. Who among the Scions would be the biggest dweeb? Alice A. Are you sufficiently prepared? Yes, I am ready, I think. I mean, more practice probably wouldn't go amiss, but let's just pretend I'm ready. Then we shall depart for Turncliffe at once. Okie dokie. Now for the real test. I actually remember this being somewhat challenging. We'll see if I can beat it first try. It seems they were expecting us. But who's the pilot? Dermot, we're almost there. You better have your wits about you. We sure are in a mech right now. Initiate combat mode. I have control. G Warrior, do the thing. No, I imagine Dermot's getting in the spirit of it. How often do you get the opportunity, anyway?
Now, get ready to strike.
Time to fry this overgrown squid. Is it too late to back out? J-Warrior, engage!
That sounds awfully familiar.
Here we go! You can just feel the dev team having some fun. Let's fight the Sapphire weapon. Best we can. I can't afford to lose. It's all or nothing. Activating Oversoul.
Hydra's combat sample ready. Initiating organic core overwrite.
No! I can't hold on!
I'll be monitoring the situation from the air. Follow my instructions and eliminate the target.
I'm gonna try. This should be something. Well, here goes. Have some mines. Well, seems the savages have been busy here. Your text goes very fast. I shall enjoy breaking their new toy.
They must have absorbed an aquatic icon. Be sure to use the pyretic booster and ethereal aegis.
I'm gonna... Move! Don't think we were fast enough. That's fine. Get in hits. My likeness reborn in cerulean flames. Who's in there? Oh, you! I remember you. There's nowhere to run! It's that dude from Heavensward. We're managing.
Is that Ultima? Use the ethereal aegis!
Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
It's submerged, but not for long. Watch for signs of movement.
Okay. Yeah. Yoips. I don't like those beams, whatever they're doing. What are they doing? Oh, maybe being in the front of you would have been a smarter place to be for that exact moment.
It's preparing to strike. Quickly deploy the aegis.
Okay. Poof. Man, I'm taking a bit of a beating, though. Let's see. Turrets incoming, eh? Yikes, they sure are. Let's see if we can take all these out at once. Big beam! Kaboom! Yes. Missed one. That's fine. Big beam! Yes.
The turrets are preparing to self-destruct. Destroy them with the Ultima Buster.
I did that already. Keep up. It's like you're not even looking.
Activate the pyretic booster and keep moving.
Okay. We're doing fine. Activate. What does activate mean? Oh, we're doing this now, are we? I think so long as I stay in the center here, I'm okay. Well, maybe not. Whew, okay. Top off. Optimize Ultima incoming, is that? Yep. Glad I got that up in time. That would have hurt. Turrets again, okay. Where are they? Okay. Let's knock them down like some bowling pins. Yikes. Whew. Don't know where the thing went. I will ignore it for now. Oh boy. Maybe after y'all are done. I'll wait my turn. Kaboom! Yes. Delicious. Where is it? Yeah, okay. That looks like a thing to not be standing in front of. To me. Yep. I have read the cues. You need a mine on you again. Damage over time should be happening, I think. We're managing. Feels good. What does plasma shot mean? Oh. No dodging that one, I suppose. Better to shield. Getting in that damage, though. It feels good. Oh, they're turned inward now. I feel like that's going to be an issue. Yikes. Let's move. And top off. We're doing okay. Just fine is what this is. Oh, shield up for that one. All going pretty good, though. Let's move. Don't know where it's going to pop up. There you are. What is that? Cerulean Servant. Your wild flailing will avail you not.
Destroy the cerulean servants, then focus your attacks on the Sapphire weapon. It mustn't launch its next attack.
I'm gonna try, but there's a lot going on at once. Yipes.
The cerulean servants are protecting the weapon. Ignore the turrets for now and destroy the servants.
Okay. Yikes. 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 Many yikes.
You must destroy the cerulean servants. It's the only way.
I'm doing it. Okay, I got them. Now, we can focus on these things. Good. Yikes. Hang on. Which one's going first? Eeh. Which one's going first? What are you doing? I'm nervous. I feel like this is gonna hurt. I'm shielding up just in case. Hope this isn't an insta-kill with this flood ray it's doing, because I have this feeling it might be. Maybe I can kill it before things happen. Go all out! We can do it. We can win. I tire of these games. Now to send you to a watery grave! But, no, don't do that. Uh-oh, my shield's gone. That's not great for me. Maybe if we get far enough away. I was kind of hoping you'd be more dead than this. Nope. I think we need to have enough shield left for that last fight. Let me do that again. There we go. Much better performance that time.
The target has been silenced.
Let's not be too cocky. There's a somber element to this as well. Understood.
Now that the immediate threat has been dealt with, we should gather what information we can in Turncliffe.
Nice of the Elegants to build that thing in a way which accommodates tiny pilots. New location, though. Place we never been. I must admit, I envy your talents. Would that I possessed even a fraction of your skill that I could better serve Gaius. I cannot help feeling there was a simpler way to defeat the weapon. Perhaps shooting it in the head with a large cannon would have sufficed. I get your reference. Very cute. You did well to pilot the G-Warrior so adeptly in so short a time. And with the weapon largely intact, Sid and his researchers should be able to gather a wealth of valuable information. Before it's dismantled, perhaps we should take one last look upon our fallen foe. Oh. Here we go again. We should have known Father and his friends would track us down sooner or later. Now they're at our doorstep, and the Sapphire weapon still isn't ready. Even so, it should still be able to fend them off, or at least buy us some time. Not quite how I'd imagined it, but this seems as good a way to die as any. Rex, Rickon, why are you still here? You're supposed to be moving the other weapons to a safe location. You can take care of that, while I pilot the Sapphire weapon. What are you talking about? I'm the pilot, not you. There's no need to put your life on the line. Besides, it's still incomplete. It can barely perform basic maneuvers, so it'll be practically useless in a real fight. We have a solution. Oversoul. You want to end up like Melisandre? No, of course not. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But she didn't give her life in vain. The ruby weapon left behind data that's been used to improve the system, to prevent any further malfunctions. What difference does that make? Once Oversoul's activated and the pilot fuses with the core, there's no way back. That's why I should be the one to pilot the Sapphire weapon, not you, Rex. Alphonse needs you. You and I both know I'm the least qualified pilot we have. There's less to lose if I don't make it back. No! I won't let you! Please, Rex, hear me out. Ever since we were children, I was the smallest, the weakest, too afraid to stand up for myself. But I had the best brothers and sisters a boy could wish for. You were always there for me, protected me. Now it's my turn to protect you. Take the other weapons and get out of here. See this through to the end. Do it for me. For Melisandre. I'm counting on you, Rex. You always did have a stubborn streak. All right, Recon. I won't let you down. Just promise you'll wait for me. On the other side. We'll meet again, brother. You all made me happier than I had any right to be. And now, I've finally found my purpose. I have no regrets. Come on, Sapphire. We may be far from perfect, but we have a job to do. Let's give Father something to remember us by. The Echo, I presume. What did it reveal to you? Rickon, my poor boy. You were braver than most could ever hope to be. It's as we feared. I'm sorry, Gaius. First Melisandre, now Rickon. We must find the remaining weapons and end this madness. So do y'all need me to do anything else? Tell me, what do you make of Gaius Baelsar? I understand the two of you have been acquainted since his days as the Black Wolf. He claims to have shed his pelt when he took up the hunt for Ascians, but he's still the same man deep down. He certainly kept quiet about having a flock of foster children back in the Empire, though. It seems he would rather bare his teeth to his former masters than allow harm to come to them. Yet, try as I might, I cannot make sense of it. Does he truly fight for the good of mankind, as he would have us all believe? Or is he merely biding his time before he reveals his true colors? Whatever the answer may be, in the end, he'll always be a Garlean. And though there may be honorable men and women among them, I've suffered much and more as a result of their conquests. Barbaric campaigns in which Gaius Baelsar played no small part. My first encounter with the Garleans was 20 years ago, shortly after the fall of Alamigo. They continued their march into the lands that had long been home to we Duskwhites. We sought to repel the invaders, but we were woefully unprepared. Our bows and arrows were no match for their magitech. Even our most powerful magics did little to slow their advance. I fought on the front line, but was knocked unconscious in the opening exchange. When I came to, I was alone. The rest of my unit slaughtered. I hurried back to my village to look for my wife and daughter, only to find the place deserted. My search lasted for days, then weeks, then months, and it seemed they'd disappeared without a trace. I finally learned from two Imperials held at Bittermill that the villagers had been captured and used as test subjects for the poison gas that would later be known as Black Rose. They were never seen again. For 20 long years I roamed aimlessly, with nothing but hatred to keep me alive. I eventually found myself at the Order of the Twin Adder, who offered me a place among their ranks. The desire for revenge was the only thing I had left, so without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. Were it not for the war with Garlemald, I'd have been loath to work alongside the city-dwelling Gridanians, who for so long had treated my kind as outcasts. But none of that mattered anymore. It all culminated with Operation Archon. As you led the charge into the Praetorium, we were right behind you, and when the place came crumbling down, most of us were caught in the rubble. I escaped with my life, though many others were less fortunate. Having dragged myself free from the rubble, I sought a way out. It was then that I encountered none other than Gaius Baelsar on the verge of death. The gods had delivered to me the man whose conquest had robbed me of everything. I was poised, ready to exact my revenge. And then he spoke. I will not beg for mercy. I will only ask that you stay your hand a while longer. I cannot die until I've rid the world of the Ascian menace. For millennia, mankind has danced to their tune, but no more. Then, once we are finally free, my life is yours for the taking. I would have struck him down there and then had I not sensed truth in his words, so I decided to grant him a stay of execution and join him on his hunt. All this time, I've kept a close eye on Gaius. Though he's ever on the watch for pursuers, he has granted me ample opportunity to slay him if I so choose. And I still might, if he shows even the slightest sign of betraying our agreement. But for now, the Ascians are my chosen quarry. If they are indeed the ones pulling the Empire's strings, then it shall not end until they've been eradicated. Every last one. Though I could not save my kin, there are those who may yet be spared the horrors of war. Unfortunately, dealing with the Ascians will have to wait until we've brought an end to Garlemald's weapon project. Though we may have vanquished 2 of the new weapons, we must make every effort to prepare for whatever the Garleans throw at us next. Perhaps Severa can tell us whether the Ironworks engineers have uncovered any information of note. Okay, yeah, let's go. Whoop. Let's go check in. It's pretty out here. I like it. What do you have to say, former Imperial conscript? I've been separated from my family ever since I was forced into the army, but I was able to sneak away in the confusion. I've got you and your friends to thank for that. My main concern is that Legatus Valens won't take this lying down. That man's like a dog with a bone. Once he sinks his teeth in, he never lets go. He'll be back, I'm sure of it. What do you want with me, lad? Can you tell me about yourself? Me? Not much to tell, even less worth knowing. These days I go about my daily business trying not to bother anyone. Just another sad old man, all alone and dying of... Well, I doubt you'd care even if I told you. I used to call myself a doctor, not that I was much good at it. When the epidemic came 10 years ago, I was powerless to stop it, despite all my years of experience and fancy medicines. For every one I saved, I lost a dozen more. Worse than that, I let those Garlean bastards push me around, tell me who to treat and who to leave to their fate. As a result, I only saw to the Imperials, while my kith and kin died in agony. What can you tell me about here, then? Being far to the south of Werlet, perched atop the cliffs, there was never much reason for anyone to travel here. Being by the sea is all well and good, but we're simply too high above the water to benefit much from it. The gulls and terns don't seem to mind, though. Much of the townsfolk are either Huron natives or Alra who found their way here over the years. They all lived side by side, peacefully enough, before the Garleans came and ruined everything. There wasn't much we could do to stop them. Those who fought back were soon put to the sword. Once the invasion was complete, the Imperials started digging down into the rock and built a supply depot for their blasted airships, but the experiments were a more recent development. Of course, none of us civilians were privy to what it was they were working on. I expect that'll all come to light now that the bastards have all turned and fled with their tails between their legs. We got you and yours to thank for that, even if it's only a temporary respite. Well, glad we could temporarily help at least. Won't talk to everybody, but good flavor. Those Garlean bastards are finally gone. That's all thanks to you. My husband died defending our town when they first invaded, and for all the years since, it's felt like he'd died for nothing. Now his soul might at last find peace. Very glad things are looking a little bit better over here. Most of the 7th Legion troops stationed here withdrew before you arrived. I expect they're regrouping somewhere, getting ready to retake the town. I even heard one of the members of the weapon project is still hiding somewhere in the town. Really? That'd be interesting. I'd rather you didn't share what we've discussed with my traveling companions. It would only complicate matters. Okay. I'll leave you to thinking. The Ironworks engineers are still at work dismantling the Sapphire weapon and investigating the Turncliffe Magitech facility. Though they have yet to make their report, they may have some news to share at this juncture. Please, wait here a moment. We've yet to finish our investigation, but I can give you a preliminary report. Were you able to recover anything of note? Before abandoning the facility, they'd attempted to destroy anything they couldn't take with them, including many of their research materials. Luckily, some information relating to the Sapphire weapon's combat data was intact. Judging by what we saw during the battle, it was extracted from regular Van Hydrus, correct? It also appears that the Sapphire weapon was actually in an incomplete state, and therefore unable to perform at full capacity. Even so, it was immensely powerful. Had they been given the chance to finish it before we'd arrived, who knows how it would have ended. Indeed. We may not be so fortunate next time, so we must prepare for the worst. The Ironworks will continue to investigate the Sapphire weapon and look into possible countermeasures. The Echo afforded you a glimpse into the conversation between Rickon and Rex prior to the weapon's deployment. Do you remember any other details? A little bit. Improvements were made to the synthetic Orosite system to prevent malfunctions. Then it was never their intent to create a manifestation of Neil Van Darnus. But there's one thing that was intended. Oversoul. Its activation results in the pilot being absorbed by the core, killing them in the process. Rex and Rickon were fully aware of this, were they not? Then the death of the pilot was by design all along. Alphonse, how could you? Sacrificing your own siblings to fuel these accursed war machines. Surely there's no cause worth paying such a price. Aye, nothing's more precious than family. This nightmare's far from over. It appears that Rex has fled with the remaining weapons, and we can assume that Alphonse has every intention of sending them into battle. We must find a way to disable them before Oversoul can be activated. I've seen enough death. I do not wish to see any more. Then there's no time to waste. Let's be about it, guys. Severa, you're in charge here. Keep Sid and his team safe while they carry out the investigation. Understood. Please see that no harm comes to Gaius. While they're gone, I need you to relay everything to the Resistance troops. Your first-hand account should prove useful. If there are any developments, we'll be sure to contact you. Okay. Seems like a bit of a trip to make, but this I can do. If the other weapons have been moved elsewhere, the locals must have seen the direction in which they've headed. At this stage, any information at all would be better than what we have now, which is next to nothing. Alphonse, I will find you, wherever you are. Well, I will catch up with you two in a little while. Ready to return to Gerbania? You bet I am. I have a report to make. Officer, I'm back. Welcome back. Sounds like you've been on quite the journey. All the way to Turncliffe. And judging by the fact you made it here in one piece, I trust everything went according to plan. What an astonishing account. I wouldn't mind putting that G-Warrior through its paces myself. Certainly a lot more stimulating than supervising this rabble, I'd imagine. Anyway, as before, I'll compile the information into a report and leave it over there for your perusal, should you feel so inclined. If we hear anything from headquarters, we'll be sure to pass it on. Okie dokie. Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's Wurlet headquarters. I've come to deliver my report, Lord Valence. Ah, so you've returned, young Alfred. Or was it Alwick? Not that it really matters, of course. I hear that you and your darling brothers and sisters have allowed the Sapphire weapon to fall into the hands of the enemy. Do tell me that isn't so. I'm afraid that is the case, Lord Valence. Oh, come now, no need to be so sullen. As they say, to err is human, to forgive divine. And you know how forgiving I can be, when it suits me. So tell me, whatever your name is, who was able to best the Sapphire weapon? Our sources state that the one known as the Warrior of Light was assisted by Cid Garland and Gaius van Baelsar, my lord. Gaius. Yes, it seems he's been quite the troublemaker of late, defecting from Garlemald, assassinating the Emperor. Whatever next? Oh well, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Speaking of which, I've become quite the connoisseur since arriving in Wurlet. This particular variety comes from a rare breed of cow, you know. Only 100 of them in existence, and pampered every day of their lives. Yes, they're quite valuable. Until their milk dries up, that is. And when it does, they're sent to the slaughterhouse like all the rest, for that is their lot in life. To be discarded once they've served their purpose. Did I create the ruby and sapphire weapons so that you could deliver them gift-wrapped to the enemy? I can see it now, Cid non Garland rubbing his hands with glee at all the technological marvels we've bestowed upon him. And you let Gaius van Baelsar, of all people, get the better of you. How do you think this reflects on me, the legatus of the 7th Legion, humiliated by that traitor? Humiliated, I say! There's only one way to deal with a worthless provincial filth like you. Wait for me in the correction chamber. You need to be taught a lesson in obedience. Yes, my lord. Forgive my intrusion, Lord Valence, but it's time for your meeting with the head of Magitech Development. Oh, how time flies when you're whipping useless soldiers into shape. Yes, I'll be along once I've made myself presentable. Can't have people thinking I've let my standards slip, now can I? Boy, they went all in building this guy up. What are you doing here? You wished to see me, Lord Valens? Did I know? Oh yes, that's right. So you're Ally, yes? And you joined the military of your own free will among with your fellow orphans? Such devotion. What an inspiration you are. You see, it is my firm belief that love grants us the power to move mountains, to overcome any obstacle. Together, we shall discover the strength that lies within you. Take my hand, child. I will show you the way. Goodness, the dramatic build. It's a lot of work in for one scene. Anyway, I think that is quite enough for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time for the continuation of this little story. Take care. Goodbye.